a summarized form of everything. Read the preface. If you read the preface, you need not read the entire document. This entire document is more than 200 pages. Read only the preface, that is about 5-6 pages. You will then come to know what exactly this is. What was noted that the children in a teaching system are overloaded with information. I'll also speak what is the difference between knowledge and information. They are overloaded with the information. The teaching techniques are so old. I am talking teaching techniques. I am not talking learning techniques. After that I will shift to learning. So instructions given to the children was so dull. Methods adopted were so dull that children were not responding properly. Their growth was not okay. Previous education system, so many reforms have been made. But then ultimately when they adopted NCF 2005, we call it NCF 2005. What they had thought, what was the drawback in the system? So these are those drawbacks which have been removed in NCF by adopting curriculum, by adopting various activities and methods and programs. So these are 4 things which were detected. Number 1, why we require it? Because I'll say the negative of this. Because knowledge was not connected to outside school. So the first of this is connecting knowledge to the life outside the school. That is why we emphasize on all extracurricular activities outside school. Maybe it is a picnic. Outside the school is also the outside the classroom. If you are a science teacher, if you are teaching about a plant inside the class, then I think you are doing something wrong. You have to take to the children outside, show them actual plants, number of plants, and teach them there. If it is not possible, your vice principal does not permit you to go, then bring the plant inside, potted plant, show to them. This is the first thing, that we have to connect the knowledge to life outside the school, not connected to the life. It's not connected only to the subject. After that I will tell you interdisciplinary approach, where a biology teacher has to link his subject with physics or chemistry. That is called interdisciplinary approach. Your subject is also called discipline. It's not the only that discipline. A discipline is also your subject. Interdisciplinary approach, in which a disciplines, you teach something which is related to 2 or more disciplines. Main is your discipline, your subject, plus more subjects. There are so many examples which you tell me the activity and I tell you what are the subjects with which it is linked. If sports teacher is here, she makes students to run. It's a sports. If it is running, then we should know the speed. It is physics. And what is happening to the heartbeat and inside what is happening, that is related. So this is what I am telling you. Every activity, if you are able to say that I am doing this activity, child is doing this activity, and while doing this activity, these are the disciplines which can be related, then you are following interdisciplinary approach. And this is also in NCF after that. So connecting knowledge to life outside the school. This should also form principle on your planning of the lesson. For transaction of your curriculum, you have to do that. When you are teaching English, you have to see how you have to connect the knowledge outside the school. If you are teaching physics, you have to do the same thing. If you are teaching Hindi, same thing. These are the 5 principles, 5 principles he has not written. I brought that and I will not debate on that. I will read that and ask you, please give me the meaning after 2-3 days. What do you understand from? You go and search on the Google everywhere. Second, ensuring that learning shifts towards from the rote method. This means we have been adopting all rote methods, dull methods of teaching. So we have to avoid that. This is the second part of NCF. These 5 principles are extremely important. Whether you talk of CCE, whether you talk of physics class 12, you talk of primary activities, everything is only on 4-5 principles. This is the second principle. These 5 principles you should learn by heart. I don't know. Instead of learning everything, connecting knowledge with the life outside. If you remember life outside school, you will come to know immediately. If you remember road methods, you will learn what is this. So you have to learn these things and then adopt these principles with respect to your subject while you are planning or executing activities. Number 3, enriching curriculum so that it goes beyond the textbooks. Earlier we used to rely totally upon textbook. You have to move away from the textbooks. That is why I say there are websites where you can make use of that. You can take children to the other places and let them see other schools or activities there. You can invite outsiders. You have to think what you have to do. This is your third principle, enriching the curriculum. Curriculum is what is being translated. Curriculum is your syllabus. It's not only academics. It is scholastic, co-scholastic activities, co-scholastic areas. It is related to the skills, everything. Making examination flexible. Once you conduct the activities on the basis of 1, 2 and 3, you have to evaluate. Your activities were right or wrong. So that evaluation, which we call examinations. Examinations are what? These are the evaluation techniques. So those examinations have to be flexible. These have not to be rigid. You have to bring element of flexibility into examination. And the biggest element they have made under RDE, no child can fail up to class 8. Do you know this thing? No child can be expelled from the school up to 8th class. Do you know this thing? This will come under RTE. So while those who are the class teachers of 6th, 7th, 8th, please note, if a child has not done well, and after 1 year we ask you what is the result of this child, you say, sir, this boy has got 1 E grade in a subject or 2 E grades. Can we fail him? You cannot fail a child up to 8. What you should do? Give a reference of RDE Act and quote.